Well, here we are, another day, another astro shoot. And as I finished off the last vlog, I said I'll get you to the observatories. Well, check that one behind me. That's the Isaac Newton telescope. And so I'll be playing in this area this evening. And I'm hoping to do another time lapse, because after the effort of yesterday's time lapse, and going all up the mountain path to retrieve it, it failed after 270 shots for some reason. Oh no, would have been a cracking Milky Way Arch as well, so I'm going to try and do an even better one tonight from this vantage point at Pico Fuente, pretty much near the top of La Palma. And so tonight we got some wispy high clouds. Hopefully they'll disappear and I'll be able to do another night of super panoramas and focus shots of observatories. And so, yeah, looking forward to it. I hope you are too. And so, let's wait for it to get dark and let's see how the night sky goes. Cool. Well, I've set up the time-lapse camera again, so I'm going with a 16mm, and this time I'm using something called an Arsenal photographic aid adapter. The Auto ISO Min SS was, like I said, okay, but for some reason it failed after 200 shots, so I'm trying this new gadget to see if I can get a better time-lapse duration. Also the Holy Grail version as well, so if I stay here long enough you'll see darkness approach and then the stars will come out. Hopefully the clouds will completely disappear. I don't mind one or two. I don't want any sand up in the air as well. It has been a bit of cleaner about, so I don't want too much of that, but green air glow would be very welcome. And if the Arsenal device works, it should see me into the lightning of the dawn. That's if I stay out here that long. And with this device, you can get it on your phone so you can have a preview. And that's a preview so far. So if I run it, hasn't taken many yet, but that's the beauty. At the moment I can say that it's done 23 shots already, and so as long as I'm within Wi-Fi range, it's got its own Wi-Fi emitter, then I can connect to my phone and make sure it's still operating normally. And so that's the handy thing about this new Arsenal device. Nothing to do with the football team, by the way, in case you were thinking. And so hopefully that will go sweet. Yeah, now I'm going to head to the top of Pico Fuente, just see what the land looks like up there while there's still a bit of lightness in the sky. And I'll show you where I placed my camera for the time lapse. I want it out of view so no one just picks it up and walks away with it, so I've hidden it a little bit and I'll show you now a little place. Can you see it there? There it is. And that's a view it's going to take for me. Right, let's get on with the astro tour. Pico, Fuente and Neve, I think it's called. Top of the Palma. What a view. What a sky. And what a volcanic caldera. Not so much cloud filled tonight. Maybe it'll fill up later. Way! Super! Well, I think that's the planet Jupiter close to the moon. I think we call that a bit of a conjunction, do we not? Yeah, quite a chunky crescent, and that's going to set rather later tonight. I think it's 2:30 in the morning. I can still see the stars of Orion Belt starting to come through, so there might be opportunity maybe to do a bit more of Orion. I'm heading my way to the actual rocky pinnacles of Roques de los Muchachos. Hopefully I can get there. I'm following a path along the top ridge past Pico, Fuente, and yeah, it seems to be quite easy going, so let's see if I can get to the end and see what compositions are there. Cool. Well, I've been walking down from Pico Fuente and I'm still heading towards the other peak, the actual pinnacles of Roques de Muchachos. I think I can get there. And I thought I'd do a sneaky picture of the observatory and Orion right on top of it. And so I'm using an 85mm f1.8 Sony lens, and I'm using the fast exposure because I'm not star tracking, so I'm really high in the ISO. I think I'm something like 6,400, 5 seconds, f2.2, and I've done a few pics to stack. And so it doesn't look too bad actually, and I can always blend in a bit of H-alpha from track shots into it to make Orion more prominent, but it looks quite a nice composition. It's behind me here, have a look. Wow, that was a bit of a trek from the last observatory location I was at, uphill a bit, but I finally made it to the pinnacles of the Roques de los Muchachos, which you can see behind me. They're quite beautiful in their own right, aren't they? I'm not sure if I'm meant to be up here, so not too many lights about, I don't think. We've still got Orion behind the camera over the, I think that's the Galileo Observatory, so I'll whiz the camera around for you to see that. But wow, this is going to be my location tonight. I think it's going to be a good one. well, the pretty lights of the Porto de Taqueste, I think, not too far from Plana del Diablo, which is on the coast, and the outlet of the caldera. No clouds in the caldera, and so no inversion yet. We can hope for some later, but we've had plenty of inversion, haven't we, with the previous night vlogs, and so yeah, I'm not going to miss it too much. But I tell you what, good viewpoints. I'm right at the very end of where you can go on the path leading down from the Roques de los Muchachos, and the Milky Way core and row is going to rise over there, and so I'll get some core action when it gets a bit later, when the moon sinks, still high in the night sky. And it's going to be a good pano, I reckon, and I can't wait for a big arch because I don't want to miss the observatories, but we'll get still a decent arch over this rocky promontory overlooking the caldera. The moon does help me somewhat while it's in the night sky, helps illuminate the foreground, and so I can use shorter exposures, and that is, yeah, saves on battery. And that's the other thing I want to mention about using the Sony A7 III system, is that the battery is pretty good. It can last all night, yeah. And you can also switch the monitor off. You just save it to one of the special buttons dotted on the camera. And another decent feature, it's got a scale of focus, a digital scale. So, you know, it's always really hard focusing at night, but using the digital scale gets you in the right zone, and then you can whack up the ISO, take a test shot, and see how close you are. So it's, yeah, pretty good Sony. I'm liking it. Right, let's I think have a cup of tea tonight in my flask, and we'll wait for the Milky Way to start rising. Brilliant. Wow. As soon as the moon popped behind the pinnacle rocks of Roques de los Muchachos, the night came alive with the Milky Way. The clouds have come back into the caldera. We've got a lovely inversion going on, captured nicely in the camera. Oh, it looks absolutely beautiful. It's stunning, these photos. Oh, they're going to make such a great panorama. And so once I do these ground shots, I'm redoing the ground shots because of the cloud inversion, and also with the moon being gone, there's less shadows casted by the rock we're on now, because we're on the observation point, which is normally very busy during the day, but at night there's no one here. And so, place to myself, I just want to get this one going. But I feel so privileged to be here underneath a beautiful night sky again. Stars glittering like jewels all over the place. And I've seen a couple of decent meteors. I had the vlog camera doing some star trails again while I was waiting for the moon to go down. And so I had some time just to relax and look up at the stars, Ooh, another shooting star there. Hopefully I might catch one for you. But just enjoying being underneath the dark skies of La Palma is superb, and yeah, pretty chuffed. See the summer triangle over there, Nver Avetyan, Roque, the Milky Way core. It's wonderful. Once I do the tracked sky shots, I'll head back to where my other camera is, back towards the Isaac Newton Observatory, because I really want to do some Milky Way over observatories later on tonight. I've got to make time for that. But I'll take this stunning panoramic Milky Way and landscape shot first. Cracking. Sky shots coming up really well. So they've been tracked on the Move Shoot Move, and I'm using f2.2, ISO 1600 and 60 seconds. I'm going to do 4 tracked shots per panel and make sure that I get good coverage of the whole Milky Way Arch, and if one panel gets spoiled by movement, I still got 3 images to make up the panel that may be good. So yeah, it's worth doing more than one tracked panel just in case. Looking really well. Oh, I did get a couple of meteors. Did you see them? And so, yay. So yeah. And again, once I've done the tracked sky shots, I'm going to get myself off this ridge and head back to my other camera, make sure that's been working okay. And I'll still leave it there because I want to get to my car and drive around to Magic telescopes, and I know a place where I left yesterday where it would be really good to get the Milky Way rising above them. And so yeah, that's the next composition that I'm going to do is at the telescopes. Well folks, I had to take one of La Palma's favourite spots of photography at the top of the island, which is the Roques de los Muchachos. And so as I passed it by on my way back to my other location where I left my time-lapse camera, I couldn't help noticing that the Milky Way core was rising right above it, and so it had to be taken as a shot. So it looks fantastic. So glad I paused here on my way back to Pico Fuente. It's brilliant. Well, yeah, as you can see behind me, we are at the telescopes, the magic telescopes, multi-mirror faceted big dishes. And I got here a few minutes ago. I just finished my exposures because I knew the dawn was again coming on fast, and I was nearly too late again, but you can still see some of the Milky Way there behind me. And yeah, I did a few shots on the way down from Pico Fuente and the Roques de los Muchachos. Slowed me down a bit, but the opportunities were just too good to give up. You know, I had to take them. And so I got some more great obsy shots for you to check out when we finish the vlog. And so I got here just in the nick of time to do the magic telescopes and finish off the night. And boy, it was a good night. I got some cracking images of the Milky Way core and cloud inversions and some classic rock formations and a little bit of the foliage around here as well. And so I managed to do quite a lot tonight. I'd have liked to have done maybe a bit more vlogging, but sometimes time just isn't on your side and you're on a tight schedule. And so, yeah, but you can see the fruits of my labour very shortly. And so the last thing I need to do now is go off and retrieve my time-lapse camera. Hopefully that's worked. I was going to check it on the way down, but I didn't get the chance. Time was going too fast. So I hope the new power bank and the photographic aid, the Arsenal, has done a proper job. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a time-lapse of the type of Milky Way rising arc we had over the cloud inversion that just came in at some point in the night. It's going to be a magical time-lapse if it works. And so if it does work, you're going to see it very shortly. And I think my time in Palma is nearly at an end. Tomorrow I'm just going to chill and maybe do some daytime shots, which I might incorporate into the vlogs. But I hope you enjoyed what I've done here in La Palma. And if you want to come and visit this island, yeah, put it on your hit list for the night sky. Definitely, it's amazing. And so, you know, without further ado, I'm going to let you go, and so you can see my images, and I hope you enjoy them. And if you do go out, oh, there goes the workman. Yeah, you stay safe and enjoy yourselves. And so, till next time, ta-ra.